I used to help out with Supporters Club when, Blackburn was sort of like getting 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, a big gate with 10,000 gate. When sort of early years when we were in the second division, and a big away following was 2 coaches. I used to help run the Accrington branch of Supporters Club with a guy called Paul Astley. We used to steward on the coaches to away games, selling scratch cards, just basically trying to provide money for the club. When they needed it most, really, when they couldn't afford to pay the milkman, apparently. Well, I say when we used to, in the early days before the club got big, there wasn't many supporters branches, and one area of Blackburn was Mill Hill, where I used to live, and me and my mother sort of set up the Mill Hill branch of the supporters club, running away travel arrangements, which didn't always go very well. I remember one match we played Everton. We used to sort of organise a big away following with sort of like 2 coaches or 3 coaches, and then we drew Everton away in the cup one year, and we suddenly had 10 coaches, we had trains, and we were in the pub in Mill Hill, in the King's Inn, and we'd run out of tickets, but we still had people to sell to, so we started trying to improvise, and we were making tickets out on beer mats. We did get in trouble with that, but we were just so we were inexperienced and we didn't know what we were doing. We were just trying to sell as many tickets as we could do, but it caused probably a big logistic problem on the day. But it went off all right, but we got beat. So it's sort of like in the Blackburn, Darwen, Ribble Valley area, in an old battered Hillman Imp with wobbly spot lamps on the front. We used to be driving around in the Ribble Valley in really dark country lanes, and all you could see were the lights bobbing up and down, trying to run rabbits over and things. Going inside, just taking tickets to different people's houses, agents who used to sell them on, and we'd collect the money from them, and then give them extra tickets to sell on the following week. We used to do that week in, week out, and run the away travel supporters club, stewarding on the coaches. No, we haven't always travelled. When we used to organise through the Mill Hill branch of the supporters club, we used to go on coaches and trains, and then in my later years, so it's like 19, 20-year-old, we used to travel in transit vans. And it's surprising how many people you can get in the back of a transit van, as well as copious amounts of beer. We've had several good days out in this style. Travelling to London in back of a transit van is not what you would call executive travel. And I can remember going to when we played in the playoff final against Crystal Palace. We got stopped by the police, and they emptied all our beer down the drain. So that didn't go down too well. And I remember going to Everton one day, and there was 3 or 4 vans, and we decided to have a race, and I was driving that day, and it gets quite a bit of a wobble on a transit van when you're racing with 20 people in back. So we're probably a bit lucky to survive that day.